Hey guys, this is my Dutch beauty. I wasn't feeling well today, so I'm stitching. This is why I shouldn't stitch when I don't feel great, because, let me get my needle here where I can show you. You weave around in this trying to not have to cut your threads very often, and then not having stitching on the back, carrying threads too much. Anyway, right here, guys. See how this is 3 stitches? It's supposed to be 4. That means I have to rip out all of this because it's in the wrong spot. And then we'll see how much of this part has to be ripped out to get to this and knock this over one. Ugh. So frustrating. But it must be done. I'm sure there's a way I could fudge it, but I don't want to, and I'm not going to. And I think it would be difficult because this is the center of the arch. And if it's off by one, like if it was over in here, I could fudge it, but it's messed up where the center is. Damn it. All right, let's start ripping out stitches. All right, so I did some snips, I did some pulling, I pulled out what was necessary, and you can see, try not to shade this too much, I'm trying not to pull out everything, so I've left myself 2 tails that have left a lot of the stitching intact that backs me up to where I need to correct. I know it keeps going in and out of focus. So my plan is, and I know this is probably not the way to do it, but I'm going to tack those down with new stitches and keep going. It keeps me from ripping out a lot of stitching. I'm sure some of you have done this before, but here goes nothing. All right, back to the front of the piece. Now we can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces the way it's supposed to be. And I double checked myself, and the edge right here, if you follow up, lines up here. Come on, focus. So I'll try to keep double checking myself in ways like that to make sure I'm not off somewhere, but for now, we're fixed. And Buster's sitting over there patiently awaiting dinner time. All right, back to stitching. Hey guys, it is just that kind of Sunday. It is a lazy Sunday. I have felt like crap lately, so I pretty much have just showered, pulled my hair in a ponytail, and put on clothes today. I'm only wearing pants, and I promise I am, because Jim and I went to the grocery store earlier. So let's actually angle this down. There we go. So he and I went to the grocery store earlier. He's at the gym now, and I thought, you know, I have several things that I've written down that I want to say, so I'm gonna just film a quick video. There were probably a couple of little snippets before this of me fighting with Dutch Beauty, and fixing Dutch Beauty that I had filmed one day, but that's it since the last video, so we're just gonna do this all together. I have notes. So let's see. First off, I want to show a few gifts that I have. I don't have the floss out because I already put it with something. But Tammy from Color Cascades, her husband is also in a punk band, so she had sent Jim a CD, which I think he has listened to. I don't know. His music is his thing. But she also sent me some of her fabrics to try out along with the CD. So I'm actually really excited about this because I have never used, sorry for the crinkling for those that hate it, but I have never used an opalescent fabric before. So I'm really excited to try this. Opalescent isn't really my speed usually, but I can see me totally stitching a gift for somebody with this and having a lot of fun with it. So there's that. And she sent me a couple of things of her silk too, which I said I've already put with stuff. Lindsay Wood dyed me a piece of Moody fabric and sent it to me. I love it, Lindsay. Thank you so much. Really awesome. I gotta figure out what to do with that, but it will go with my other fabric. Guys, I put this on my Instagram and Facebook because not that those aren't awesome, because they are. But Yvonne, one of my now in real life stitching friends, we've stitched together a couple of times now, asked me for my address and said she wanted to sprinkle me with some stitchy kindness. And so I gave it to her, and she sent me this. If this is not the most Emily project bag that has ever existed, I don't know what is. So it's so awesome. So awesome. And then it's lined with this speckly fabric. You can see I already have a project in it. I wanted a project to go in this that I was going to be working on a good bit, so I would get to touch this bag a lot. So Mermaid's Folly is in here. So you can see Mermaid's Folly poking out of there. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Lindsay. Sorry. Thank you. This is awesome. And Yvonne, what you've also done here is you've made me think, I can make a project bag. Not that this is in any way something easy, but I was like, I loved it so much that I wanted to try my hand at it. So that equals me Saturday morning texting my mom saying, at midnight last night, I may have bought some fabric on Etsy, and it may be, when it gets in, we may be sitting at your sewing machine trying to figure out how to do this. And she was like, at midnight? Are you sure you bought fabric? So anyway, when that comes in, she and I are gonna try to make some bags. And if it doesn't come in, I think I'm gonna go spend the night with her next Friday night, just to spend some time, just me and her. And maybe I'll grab some fabric on the way and we'll try it, or dig from her stash, because lady's got some fabric stash. Okay, what else do I need to talk about? Okay, there is a new Flosstuber. There are lots of new Flosstubers, but there is one new Flosstuber who I have connected with some online previous to her doing a video, and I told her this, and I'm not saying this just to be nice and blow sunshine, but hers may be the best first Flosstube video that I've ever seen. Just because she's so natural, and like the lighting is good and the quality is good, and like it's aesthetically pleasing. Like there are nice things to look at in the background, which to me, you know, some people may not care, but to me that's important. I mean, this is my house, so I like lots of things to look at. Felicity Stitches, or Jen. Do you go Jennifer or Jen or both, or you probably get called everything, just like I go by Emily or M or Emmy. My mom calls me Emmy. My coworker that just passed away called me Emmy. So I'm sure you get called everything. But anyway, Felicity Stitches, I will link her below. Go check her out. Let's see. I literally have a big list of stuff I want to talk about, guys. Comments. I have bags in my lap that I'm going to show in a second that I keep beating and making noise. Comments. I am so behind on comments. Speaking of Felicity Stitches, one of the things that she reached out to me about is she was like, how do you keep up with comments? This is so hard. And I was like, oh, it's not that bad. And then I went and looked, and I'm so behind on comments. Like, I think I'm just going to scrap it and start fresh with this video. Now, with that said, let me also say, around last weekend, like Saturday night, I got sick. Like, not like ridiculously horribly sick, but just like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. So not a lot happened other than laying around and stitching this week, because it's only today that I honestly kind of feel a little better. I have no idea what was wrong with me. I was on the verge of going to the doctor on Monday and being like, y'all need to pull some blood. Something's wrong. My lymph nodes swelled up. I just felt like crap. I wasn't running a fever. It was really weird. But I don't know. I feel some better today. And another tangent, I was a psychology major, so I 100% understand all of the validity behind the placebo effect, and that may very well be what it was. And I know Cozy Egg or Michelle's going to be like, it absolutely was not what it was. I don't know. But I have been using Thieves this weekend like crazy. I mixed up a batch of my own and have just been diffusing it. I rubbed some on my feet. I was like, I'm getting rid of whatever's wrong with me. I did that all day yesterday. I diffused Thieves, had it on my feet. Today I feel better. Be it what it is. But I think I'm going to plug in the diffuser again with it after I finish filming this video and just knock whatever is left potentially out of my system, hopefully, and not have to go to the doctor on Monday. That would be fantastic. So anyway, I was saying comments. I'm so behind. We'll see. I was talking to one of my viewers about it, and they were like, Emily, you always respond to comments, and honestly, I would rather have new content from you than have you respond to every comment. So I read everyone's comments, but let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think it's rude to not respond to every comment? Or would you rather have new content? Like, as viewers, that's important to me. What are your thoughts on that? Like, if I don't respond to your comment, are you offended? Maybe I'll do what some of the Flosstubers do, and like as they show up on my phone, like I'll like the comment so that you know that I read it and I loved it. I love your feedback. And if you have like an actual question, I'll address that. I'll either comment back to you or I'll address it in my next video. You guys discuss amongst yourselves and let me know what you think, because I really do care what you think, but I also am kind of bogged down with comments. Like I said, I've read them all, but like to respond sometimes, like it takes me like a couple of evenings. And I would rather stitch and have things to show you guys, you know? So I don't know, it's like a catch-22. But it brings me back to the video with the vintage haul. A lot of that went at the stitch and get together. Those of you that asked for things because I have felt so bad, nothing has gotten packaged, nothing has gotten sent out. I need to sit down and figure out what's been asked for and what is left and match it up with the people that first asked for it, get addresses, and get that out. But it hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping, and I know this is terrible, but I'm hoping to have that done in July. I know it's early July now, but sometime in July, I'm hoping to get that done. So don't think that I'm ignoring you or that I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. Like the crate is sitting, I can see it. It's sitting right there. I'll get to it. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. So I will probably comment back to your comment once I get to it and either say, hey, that's already gone, or hey, private message me your address somehow. And if you ask for something and want to go ahead and private message me your address to save me, that would rock. And if you do that and it's already gone, I'll say, hey, sorry, that's gone. That was a lot of me talking about comments. I'm sorry. Let's talk about haul, because I do have a little. The first thing I want to show you guys are bags. Not so much to love bags, but my obsession with so much to love bags made me look at my hefty bags and go, my projects are better than this. Projects are better than hefty bags. But Emily's a social worker, and Emily can't afford a so much to love bag for every single project, especially not if I continue to start new things. So I started talking with people in the community, figuring out what people do, and seeing that people had this and people had that. And I was talking with Letitia, and she said, hey, I ordered this bag off Amazon. It's like a 10-pack for $10 or something like that. And I was like, cool. So then I saw that link and was looking at it, and I thought, well, I'll just see what else there is if I search a similar thing on Amazon. And I found these bags, and I will link them down below, but I'll tell you the pros and the cons of them. The pros are they are just the right size. They're like about the size of a So Much to Love. They're zippered. They are not plain. They're more fun than see-through. They're waterproof. It says, I have not like poured anything on them to see, but like this is one of them. And you can hear like this is the waterproofness of it. I'll show you. It's got like a plasticky on the inside. This is awesome. Cons. This smells so much like plastic. It smells better than it did when I got it, which was Friday, and today is Sunday. You get 10 of these for like $11 or $12. When you see the link for them on Amazon, you're like, oh, some of those plaids are so pretty. And there's like 5 different plaids, and it says random assortment. I bought 2 packs to kind of fill all of my whips into them. And I only got 3 different prints in 2 packs. Fair forewarning, this is the one I like the most. This is my second favorite. This one might be one of the ugliest plaids I've ever seen. Okay, so it's not the ugliest plaid I've ever seen, but it's really bright. And you guys know Emily doesn't do bright. And they're not perfect. Like you can see right there, like see the stitching, there's like a thread caught in the stitching. But you know what? This is damn well nicer than the hefty bags that I did have my stuff in. So I like them. And I have 3 left out of my 20 pack that I bought that don't have projects in them, that I'm saving for things that I start. And that even has like my Nantucket Rose. I went ahead and put her in one because she's getting started August 1st. So anyway, cheap project bags. Check it out. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try my hand at making my own. And you know, I'm not gonna make a million, but I'll make myself a couple out of fabrics that I think are super cool and awesome. Okay. Let's discuss Dutch Beauty. And you know, I should probably, this is Dutch Beauty on the Q-Snap. And guys, is that not the most awesome needle minder you've ever seen? I got that from Sunspot Creations, and that's my Buster minder, because it looks just like Buster. I really don't want to take this off the Q-Snap. I'm going to insert a picture here of what it looks like, all of it up to this point that I took last night. So here. Okay, so I didn't have to take it off the Q-Snap. You guys know where I am. Since last night, I have stitched this ground over to fill in page 3, the top border over to fill in page 3. I have to do the little flower colors in. And I'm stitching in this area. Where is my... So I am here. So this is what I'm doing. This goes much faster than you would think, but then again, I have also felt like crap on a stick this week. So I've pretty much, when I'm not at work or sleeping, have just been sitting on my butt and stitching. That's what's been happening. I was going to switch from this to my Joan Elliott piece, Earth Goddess, for the Joan Elliott July that's going on. I just couldn't put down Dutch Beauty. I didn't want to. So, still doing this. And I'm going to work on this for the rest of the day. I'm going to show you guys my process. I did an initial color conversion, and you can see these are all the colors that it's charted for. That's it. So I've written in below the color what I'm using instead. If anybody wants to like pause and steal that, I don't care. And then any other colors that I'm using, I'm adding in up here. But I'm finding myself just doing what I do and being like, I don't like what color is supposed to go there. I'm going to use this. I don't like any of the colors I have pulled so far. So I'm going to dig into my floss box and use one of those. So I'm going to take you over here to the mass hysteria on my couch. This is what it looks like when I stitch a lot of the time. You know, I don't leave these out when the cats are left unsupervised. I put them away. But like if I'm just spending all day stitching, my couch looks like this. Because I'm lazy and I don't like to be pulling flosses in and out and winding them back on. I just, if I have a strip cut, it gets left wadded up on top of that color. And right now, it's a lot of my Dutch Beauty colors. I'm loving it. So I'm winging it, winging the Dutch Beauty. This is a lot of fabric, guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. This madness. I mean, there's a whole yard of fabric wadded up in this Q-snap. Whatever, it works. What else we got to talk about? That brings me to my rotation. My rotation is I stitch whatever the heck I want to stitch on. And it's just, that is what it is. The exceptions are when I work on something for Dark 13, or when there is a specific stitch along that I really want to take part in. Like August 1st, I'll be working on Nantucket Rose with all the rest of the world, or Dina's world. I took a gander at all of my whips that I have going, which is around 30, and thought to myself, if I work on something for a week at a time still, it's going to take me forever to like touch everything. So I've thought I may take my 7-day rotation and shrink it down to 4 or 5 days. 4 or 5 days on a piece will feel like enough, and then I get to move on to something else and have fun. And then I did the math that, because, you know, I have spreadsheets for my stitching, guys. I enjoy things like this. So I was doing the math, and if there are this number of weeks in the year, or this number of days in the year, then I divide that by 4 or 5, and then I divide that by the number of whips that I have. How many times will I touch it a year? Is that enough? How long will it take me to get a finish? And I'm doing all of this basic math, because trust me, Dina, I know you're a math teacher, but this girl does basic math. And I decided that still may not be enough. There are projects that I really, really would like to finish. So I'm going to do what I've been doing, which is work on whatever I want to whenever I want to, but I'm shrinking it down to 4 or 5 days. I'm going to do my Dark 13, I'm going to do my stitch alongs, whatever I feel like doing, but I'm going to add in, I haven't figured out when or how or what, And I don't think I'm going to tie myself down to a specific time every month, but I'm going to have a piece that's my focus piece to finish. And first step, I think, is going to be Book of Spells, because I really want to finish Book of Spells. So I'm going to work on Book of Spells at least once a month until I finish it. Like, it won't be, I work on it this month and then maybe in 4 more months. I'm working on Book of Spells once a month until I finish it. And then when I finish Book of Spells, something else will fall in as my focus piece. With that said, okay, I'll get back to that. I also have just been meeting so many stitchers in the area, and you know, I haven't met a person yet I don't like. And I think that we all, as stitchers, just have similar personalities, and that's probably what's going on, because I don't like a lot of people. And I mean, I'm not a people person. I hermit. I stay in my house. I draw my curtains. I mean, they're open right now because I'm filming, and like I'm like everybody that like wants to come into my little bubble, but stitchers are great people. I love all of you guys. So that's been going great. We have the website that is for Georgia stitchers to do get-togethers. And one of the members that lives in Canton, which is close to me, said, you know, I reserved a room at the library. Whoever wants to come, come. So we did that last Saturday, last weekend. It was awesome. There was probably like 20 women, give or take a few, that showed up. And there were so many great people there. People that I've stitched with before, people I had never met before, Flosstubers I had never met before. A group of ladies came in from the Carolinas and the Georgia-Carolina border, like Yvonne Mischievous Stitches, who I had met before, and she's awesome. I mean, hello, she made me that bag. Yvonne, you rock. I got to meet Lori from Mischievous Stitches. Wait, did I mix you guys up? What am I saying? I'm getting over being sick, guys. Don't blame me. Yvonne the Night Owl Stitcher, Lori Mischievous Stitches. And then Natasha from Stitcherella. They all came. Lori from Organic Granny came and brought Gay. My friend Janet came, who doesn't have a channel, but Janet, you really need to start a channel. I know we're all saying this and giving you a hard time, but we really think that you should. Because Janet's a riot. She is so funny. And it's just, she's just being her, and that's why we love her. Diana from It Is Kismet Stitches was there. She and I sat together a lot of the day, had a blast. Stephanie from Stitchin' It was there. One of the D's from D Squared Stitcher was there. If you haven't checked out their channel, you totally need to go do that. So many people. But this woman, Caroline, came up to me and was telling me that there's a guild. We have a sampler guild, and was telling me about that. And she was also saying we also have this group that stitches on Hawkman Hollow pieces. So, I mean, there's just all of this stuff going on that I had no idea was happening. So I can see me getting much more involved, and I'm pretty excited about that. So that leads me back to focus on a finish. If I start interacting with this Hawkman Hollow group, that will give me a chance to work on that piece much more than I've been working on it. So that excites me. Let's see. Next, I have a piece. Oh, did I? I did make a bag for this. Yes, I did. I did some things to this piece, guys. I'm going to insert a picture of what it looked like before I did what I did to the fabric here. Okay, so that's what it looked like before. It was beautiful. You guys all loved it. I love it. I love the stitching. I love the piece. The fabric, felt a little too girly and fairyish, and it wasn't dark enough. So Emily bought these distress spray stains that you've seen several people with, and went to town. Sprayed the crap out of this piece. Are you ready? And it's much lighter in this area because there's going to be stitching there. In these areas where I didn't really get right up against the stitching, I'm going to stitch on top of that, so it really doesn't matter. In fact, a lot of this will probably be stitched on, so I don't know what I was doing. But I just like aged and stained it with that spray. I used all 3 of those colors on here. I've had it hanging up because here's a downside to using these. I have not rinsed this because I didn't want to lose any of this color. And honestly, I just put my hand over the stitching as close as I could and just sprayed over my hand to protect the stitching. And there are little specks on some of the stitching, but whatever, I don't care because it makes it look kind of old and I like that. So, I mean, it still looks fine. Still looks fine. But this ink spray, if you use it, this has been hanging in my laundry room for, gosh, when did I do this? A week or 2. And I just now feel comfortable touching it. Like, I would touch it and it would come off on my hand. I don't know if I would use this again, but for wanting to adjust the color of a fabric after you've been stitching on it, I feel like it worked wonderfully. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm just not happy with that fabric. I don't want to rip all those stitches out and start over. This worked for me, guys. This really worked. And you can tell there was this purple in the fabric before, which is what I bought this fabric for. And you can still see it. Like, it's still peeking through that stain. And I really like it. Hang it back on my table I'm filming off of. I'm looking to see if I got any brown on me. Yeah, like, see? There's brown on my hand right there. So that's not going to get stitched on for a while. It's going to continue to hang in my pantry and just basically let that cure on the fabric, I guess. And if I need to, I'll rinse it. But we'll see. I don't want to rinse it right away. So I'll have to wash my hands before I handle any of my fabric again. What else do we have? Oh, total thrifting fail. I finally went to the Goodwill here where I live, and I didn't find diddly squat. I didn't even find any cross-stitch books. Maybe I was looking in the wrong spot. But I wandered all around the store. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I have been eyeing up some, like, cross-stitch, save the stitches pieces on, like, eBay and Etsy, and may buy 1 or 2 of those over time, because some of them, guys, like, some of them I just look at it and I'm like, why would that ever get sold? Why would somebody not keep that? So it just breaks my heart. I guess that's it. That's it. Short video. Happy Sunday. Gosh, I'm taking after my mother. I'm talking about arm fat. I need to start working out. I need to, like, start stitching and, like, with one hand stitching. That's why I need a stand, and working out with the other, and then I can stitch with my left hand and then my right hand. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. You know how long these have been sitting next to my couch? Look at the amount of cat hair on it. That tells you how long they've just been sitting there. Okay, seriously, I'm gonna go. Love you guys a lot. Have a great week. Monday's tomorrow. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. See y'all later. Just kidding. Okay, so I wanted to say like a couple more things. So I was watching some Flosstube videos. Like that's all I did all day yesterday. I watched Flosstube videos from the morning to the evening. And Jim went out with his brother, so like we didn't even like have couple time last night. Like it was just Flosstube and stitching all day long. So I was watching Jen's stitching niche, whatever it is. So I was watching Jen, and she was doing a video with her friend Teresa, and they were asking each other questions, and different questions than we normally hear. So go check that out. There's some good questions in there. But one of the ones that they asked was, what is a chart that you covet that you didn't get, and now you're like, you can't find it, and you're so upset that you had never bought it? And it got me to thinking, and I was like, the Wisdom Sampler by Vermilion. I love that chart. I love that chart. I love that chart. It's got the sampler feel to it. It was a sampler, duh. And I love it. I love it. And I can't find it. So if any of you have it in your stash and you don't like it and you're not going to stitch it, hit a girl up and I'll buy it from you. Because the designer passed away. So those are no longer being sold. I saw on one website that it was like being redone and you could download it, but then I tried to go to the website and my computer freaked out and told me that that website was a giant hazard and risk and I shouldn't go there. So I can't find that chart. I would really love that chart. I can't find it. What's your chart? Like that would be something interesting that I would like to see everybody say in their videos or comment below. What's your chart that you really, really want and can't find? And maybe we can help each other out. That would be great. Like, because maybe your chart is something I have in my stash and don't really care about. It could totally be. And then I was watching our own Jessie Marie this morning, and she said something that made me laugh because it rang so true with me, because I think the same thing whenever I place an order from anywhere, Etsy, eBay, 123 Stitch, anywhere. She said, no chart should travel alone. You're right, Jessie. No chart should travel alone. Whenever I buy something, it's always got to have a friend. So I'm ending with that. What's your favorite that you always have wanted and couldn't get? And remember, no chart should travel alone. I'm trying to stop it. It's not stopping. Bye. So do you guys remember that time when I said I was going to show you some haul, and then I filmed like a video, and then I came back again and I filmed some more video? I still didn't show you haul. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some haul. Got some charts, and I got some needle minders. Of course, I already showed you guys my Buster minder. He is already on a project. The other ones that I ordered from the same place were this awesome television minder. I don't know why. I just love this one, this retro TV. We had a TV like this in like our breakfast area when I was growing up. My mom would watch TV because it was part of the kitchen. My mom would watch TV while she was cooking, and the great family that we were, we would watch like the news and Entertainment Tonight or whatever was on when me and my mom were eating dinner. It just reminds me of that. And then I got these. This one was a freebie. And then I have this very distinguished bear. And then this chick, I loved her. She screams Emily. Yeah, pretty excited about her. She might end up being, once I can finally stitch on Le Clef again. That will probably be the minder that goes on there. Chart haul. Okay, so Jen, that I talked about before, has an Etsy shop. by the same name of her channel. And she sells lots of awesome stuff. Y'all should go check it out. In fact, I'll link that down below. She is friends with, what is your last name, Teresa? Teresa Vanette from Shakespeare's Peddler. So of course she has like all the Shakespeare's Peddler charts in her shop. This one is Sarah Chapel, 1831. The borders, guys, like I will poke needles in my eyes before I'm done with it, but it's so intricate and beautiful. Yeah. I'm not going to try to read that because it's really long, but it also has a beautiful sentiment to it, which will probably get changed by me because that's what I do. This one, I'll definitely change what it says, but it's a gorgeous Adam and Eve sampler. This is Jane Philpott, 1837. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty as I stare at it and refuse to show it to you. I mean, you've got Adam and Eve with these janky hips that are all off to the side, which, yes. All these flowers and motifs and detail and the trees. I love these triangular trees. This bird and this deer. Love me a good squirrel. It's really pretty. Then I got Eliza Mitchell from La Di Da. This was one I bought on sale from 123 Stitch, I believe. This one I might actually keep the verse. It says, "If solid happiness we prize, within our breasts this jewel lies, and they are fools who roam, the world has nothing to bestow. From our own selves our joys must flow, and that dear hut our home." From our own selves our joys must flow. Let me read that again. From our own selves our joys must flow. That speaks to me. And it just has all of these gorgeous motifs and flowers and deer. And honestly, the sample piece that's been stitched looks like it was just like laid in the frame. Or maybe that is the original, because that's the problem. There are holes in this one. You can tell it's the original. But it's really pretty. This one I grabbed because it kept showing up everywhere I was, and I kept putting it in my cart and taking it out, and putting it in my cart and taking it out, and putting it in my cart and taking it out, until I was finally like, it's like a $4 or $5 chart, Emily. Just get it. Louise Churning. Yeah. So, and it's one of those samplers where if I just want kind of a quickie, to me, this is a quickie. I like this one. This one, Lorraine made me buy. I told her at the stitching get together the other day that she twisted my arm and totally made me buy this. Lorraine is Rags to Stitches on Instagram. And instead of doing Mania, like, she did a manic birthday start-a-thon, and this was one of the pieces that she started. They're on Traditions, the Industrious Bee Sampler. I mean, look at those flowers, guys. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, saving this one for last. This one I bought on clearance at 123 Stitch. And if you love it, I'm sorry, because I think I got the last one. This is from Samplers Remembered, and this is the Mexican Schoolgirl Practice, circa 1830, or the Mexican Schoolgirl Sampler. It's got some bright, janky colors in it, but, I mean, that's that culture, bright colors. And, like, I would probably, if and when I stitch this, I mean, I'll probably use some brighter colors in it. It might even brighten up some of these that are more toned down. But not only did I love it for just all of the borders that are showcased in here, but I love the cat. Check out the cat. front and center. How can you not love that? Mexican schoolgirl sampler. The last one. I bought this from the same seller that I got this from, because no chart can travel alone, so I couldn't just buy this. So I was going through the seller's other charts, trying to see what I needed to have as a travel buddy for my Industrious Bee sampler. Well, the travel buddy ended up being the Mary Slatter sampler, because number one, it is one of the most gorgeous samplers I've ever seen. And number two, it is one of the most interesting executions of a sampler I have ever seen. And I actually posted in one of the sampler groups on Facebook and got some people who said that they had stitched it like this, and some people who said they were terrified to stitch it like this, and some people who had some other ideas, and we'll just see. You have to stitch this piece on 35 count linen. This is the Mary Slatter sampler. It's beautiful. All of the flowers, the border with all the different flowers, those birds, whatever those things are on, I think they're weird squirrels on top of the fruit bowls. But look closer at the people. Let me knock off the glare best I can. Do you see how detailed their faces are? That's because they're not stitched. You glue the paper on. You heard me. Now I'm going to pull it out so you can see. Now that I've decided to pull it out of the plastic. It says in here, please note that the three couples on the sampler, I'll hold it up and read it. Please note that the three couples on the sampler have painted faces and hands and other details which are printed on a separate sheet to be cut out and glued on the needlework after completion. In the late 18th and early 19th century, this form of illustration was very popular. Painted faces and hands were often created by the child who embroidered the piece, although many teachers offered to paint them for a small charge. Sometimes the pupil's family even engaged a professional artist. So I joked with Jim and told him that I was going to engage him as my professional artist to paint these faces, and he was like, and then we laughed and said that like I would spend a year stitching this piece and he would come in with a Sharpie and like draw smiley faces. I would murder him. So I toyed with the idea of trying to figure out how to stitch the part that's glued 1/1. I toyed with the idea of, somebody said you should print it onto like a fabric or a muslin and stitch it on. Other people said you could maybe lightly stitch on the paper. Other people said that there's fabric glues that curators use, or paper fabric glues that curators use in museums that you could glue it with. That would be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order myself a 35-piece count of linen. It's sitting in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart as we speak. And I'm just going to stitch this slowly over time on 35 count linen. And when I get to the point where it's time to deal with this madness, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's too beautiful not to try. Too beautiful not to try. I will tell you, if you go searching for this, guys, I hate charts like this because I'm just not this talented. This is a hand-drawn chart, if anybody does not like those, as I make you stare at the top of my head. I'm just going to give you a flash of what this looks like. It's like a giant piece of paper folded up in here. I hate giant charts that I have to unfold. I want single pieces of paper with like shaded overlay or overlap. That's what I like. So I'm gonna struggle with this. And I really, really, really need to just go ahead and take it to my office and make copies of the pages and work from that. Because I think this is a harder to find chart now. And I will say this is on the inside. I guess this is the page you're supposed to use. And then this is the back cover where it just shows it to you. But because they're both there, like after I stitch this, if I use the paper, there's still another one. Like if I maybe do a giveaway or something and give that to somebody. Or maybe when I make copies of this, I can take this and make a color copy at like Staples or wherever. Because if it's a part of the chart, it just doesn't seem right that you shouldn't be able to stitch it again and have that. I don't know. So that if I give this to someone again, it's still complete. You know what I mean? I love this. There's my husband. This is awkward. I was just finishing filming.
Oh, sorry.
I'm done.
Oh,
yeah.
You stopped it. Okay.
No, I haven't stopped it.
Oh.
Do you want to say hello?
No, I'm good.
He's good. So that's it. Bye, guys. Get it, Dharma. One of Dharma's favorite games. Aww.
Yeah, no more balls. Wink right off, right? So we got one on the top, one on the bottom now.
Uh-huh. Get it, Dharma. Buster's just more watching than anything. What? Nope.
I'm literally
Dharma?
almost hitting her.
I think she's over it.
Yeah, I think she's still gonna bust it.
Oh, nope.
This one? Yeah. This one? I think we flashed.
Yeah. This game is no longer fun. Nope, wait, might still be fun. Yep, get it. That was just a lazy swat, Dharma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is you gotta kind of hit her.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta go right for her.
It's got to be in her batter's box. Just hit him with the ball.
No. I think we're done.